a wonderful day today. Um, Now we're going to talk about the a couple of the Jamaican players who virtually silenced some of the doubters last evening in their game against Bermuda. Now, I know going into this one, when we did the predicted 11, there were some names on there that the folks weren't satisfied with. And one particular name was Damian Lowe. Now, I don't know what the reason is. I know sometimes he can be rash. I know sometimes his judgment is very poor as one of the more senior players in the Reggae Boys setup. But like people just don't rate the baller. People just don't rate the baller for whatever reason. They just don't rate him. I see folks in the comment section saying Damian Lowe should be kept as far as possible from the starting lineup and all those things. And it left me wondering because like Damian Lowe has been one of the mainstays in the Jamaican team. He's been there with the team through all the phases really. And I know people will say, well, his dad played for the team and all of that and bringing nepotism. But for me, I think he's earned his place in the Jamaican national team and he continues to show us why he earns his place in the Jamaican national team. I think last night he was the captain on the night. He was a good leader. He partnered well with Richard King. And I know there are fans who are gonna say it should have been Mason Holgate, and there are some fans who, once a player comes out of England, straight off the bat, they don't care. No matter how bad that person is, once English based, they want them straight into the starting lineup, and the ones who are, some may say, local based need to be pushed out. Though Damian Lowe has played most of his football on foreign soil, I think a lot of people still consider him homegrown, as some may put it. But yeah, he put on a big performance last night, and I know there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek moments today because at the end of the day, the coach picks the team, and although the coach made the decision to start Damian Lowe, people weren't satisfied. People were saying Damian Lowe should not be in the team. Damian Lowe, I, like a lot of things. We've seen all of it. Big up yourself, Talawa TV. Keep up the great work. Keep up the great work, Talawa TV. I've been tuned in, keep the energy going. But yeah, Damian Lowe, as I said before, he continues to silence his doubters, and in the absence of Andre Blake, he was a true leader. And even when Andre Blake is there, he tends to lead very well. As I said, there is the chance of a rash tackle here or there, chance of him picking up an unnecessary yellow card, but you can't question the player's heart, you can't question the player's desire. And I think the talent is not that far off either. The talent is not that far off. Another player that I want to speak about is Shamar Nicholson. And this one, I call it silence doubters because Shamar Nicholson was one of those players where people were saying he should not see the black, green, and gold of the Reggae Boys jersey ever again. And if you remember correctly, the last squad that was named and Shamar Nicholson was not a part of it, Halftime TV, right here, we did multiple videos. We did videos on TikTok, we did videos on YouTube, uh, basically expressing our dissatisfaction with the coach's selection and the rationale behind his selection as well. Because I think, and this is my opinion, if you agree, you agree. If you don't, that's fine. But I think, regardless of the squad that is going out, Jamaica doesn't have a 22 right now that warrants Shamar Nicholson's exclusion. And especially in World Cup qualifiers right now. And this was before he got on the score sheet last night for our more potent players when it matters most. So I don't think there should ever be an instance where the coach is naming a 22, especially World Cup qualifiers, especially Gold Cup, and Shamar Nicholson is not included. No time at all. Who are the other three that you're going to include over Shamar Nicholson? And the last time out, him including Mikel Antonio and saying Shamar Nicholson wasn't getting enough game time made zero sense. And I think Shamar Nicholson coming onto the pitch last evening and getting on the score sheet again, silencing those doubters. So even the coach, because him getting what however much minutes he got because he came on late in the second half. Um, like even that, Shamar Nicholson, one of our more experienced campaigners, we'd want to have him out there. We would want to have him even from the start, and bringing on Bailey Cadamarteri. And don't get me wrong, Bailey Cadamarteri had a good game. Unlucky not to get on the score sheet, but he had a good game nonetheless. And I think at 20 years of age, his future with the Jamaican national team is very bright. But you have Shamar Nicholson, who's scored at the time 19 goals for Jamaica, five of which came in World Cup qualifiers. This is the first game. You want to get the first game under your belt. You want to kick off. You want to hit the ground running when you're playing those first games, right? Soon as you get the game running, you have it under control. Then you bring on some of the youngsters that you would expect to contribute throughout the World Cup qualification journey. And that's my opinion. That would be my approach. So Shamar Nicholson coming on late in the game, getting on the score sheet, was basically him saying to the coach, hey, I need to be starting. I need to be playing, right? I need to be playing because this is what I can do on my day. And more often than not, 1 in 3 is really my day. So he continues that trajectory of scoring a goal every 3 games that he plays for the Jamaican national team. But those two players, Shamar Nicholson and Damian Lowe, I think both of them, they silenced a lot of doubters last night. And I look forward to seeing more of this type of performance going forward in the Reggae Boyz jersey. Is Bermuda the strongest opponent? Probably not. Should we take too much from this performance against Bermuda? Probably not again, because you have to beat who is in front of you. And people will say, hey, but you get an easy team. No such thing. There aren't any easy games in CONCACAF. But at the end of the day, you still need to beat who is in front of you. Jamaica has had this predicament, or has had this scenario time and time again when it comes down to qualifiers or Gold Cup. We look on paper and we say, Jamaica is better than this team, or Jamaica has X number of players playing in the English Premier League or in the Championship. Yet on the day, Jamaica can't deliver. And we saw that a couple of weeks ago in the Gold Cup against Honduras as well. Like, we looked at the FIFA rankings, we looked at the players side by side, we did our assessment, and based on the assessment prior to the game, it would say Jamaica is a better team. On paper, it would say Jamaica is expected to beat Honduras and to come out victorious. That was not the case. And going up against the Bermuda team, although the quality in the Bermuda team was less than that of the Jamaican team, we still approach it with some level of caution because we know what's at stake. We know this is World Cup qualifiers. So again, those two players, Shamar Nicholson, Damian Lowe, I think they should be, and everyone plays for the position unless you're Mikel Antonio. But I think these two players should always be considered for selection based on what they've done for the national team and based on what they continue to do whenever they lace up those cleats and they put on the black, green, and gold of Jamaica. So big up yourself, Shamar Nicholson. Good to see you back on the score sheet. Big up yourself, Damian Lowe, as well. And I'll go even further back because in the Nations League, I don't know how many of you remember, but the Nations League against Canada, in Canada a couple of years ago, I think at the time it was Coach Hallgrimson, and he spoke about it. He said at halftime, Shamar Nicholson basically took the floor. He spoke to the players. He told them that, hey, we need to get this done. We need to get it over the line. And Jamaica came back in the second half. Damian Lowe, he stepped up to midfield. He was playing in that midfield position, and he broke up most of the plays. And he actually set up one of the goals, basically started the play for one of the goals that got Jamaica going. So I think these are two players that they play with their heart on their sleeve, and they give everything for the Jamaican national team. And regardless of what your feelings are towards them, regardless of what your thoughts are about the games that are coming up, they need to be a part of the 22. So Damian Lowe and Shamar Nicholson, they need to be part of the 22. And that's my opinion. You can let me know what your thoughts are, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Big up yourself, Walker. As always, Anika Green. Big up Ronell. Big up yourself, Newton in Kenya. Big up. Remember, folks, stay tuned for the track and field coverage at the end of the week. We'll start it off on probably Thursday or Wednesday. We'll start the track and field coverage, but we still have the game against Trinidad coming up on Halftime TV. We'll be providing preview, predicted 11, and maybe a watch along for that as well. So stay tuned for that. Always continue liking the videos, continue sharing your feedback in the comment section as per usual. Yep, yeah. We the track and field. We're gonna do the prediction show probably Wednesday night yeah, I think Wednesday night, Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night sounds about fair. But for the Trinidad and Tobago game, we'll be doing or we'll be doing probably a preview video tomorrow, and then a predicted 11, um, maybe on Monday morning. Yeah, maybe Monday morning. But I'll let you know. I'll let you know. But yeah, overall, I think it was a good showing by the Jamaican national team. The next game, I believe it drew. The next game was a draw, so that means Jamaica is on top of the zone, 3 points, 4 goals. Big up the Jamaican national team, and we continue our journey towards World Cup 2026. Strong start. We needed this strong start. The momentum is now with the Jamaican national team. The wind is under their sail, and if they win the game, not even if, when they win the game against Trinidad, in Jamaica, that will mean Jamaica is on their way there. On their way there, they would have beaten two of the teams, and with Curacao left to play. But I'm going to turn it over to you, the Halftime TV viewers and subscribers, now, because I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on the Damian Lowe and sorry, yeah, uh, on the Damian Lowe and Shamar Nicholson showing last night. As I said, both players, uh, mixed feelings from the Reggae Boyz fans for Damian Lowe. Some people rate him, some people hate him, some people don't know how they feel about him, whether it's his decision making, whether it's he's showing. People are saying they don't understand how Damian Lowe is a professional footballer. All of that. Like, I've seen the comments, and I just thought I needed to speak about it because it's very unfair. It is very unfair to Damian Lowe and what he continues to do with the national team. We see him time and time again go out there and give big performances, and I think he has more good performances than bad performances, but people will always remember the bad performances. Shamar Nicholson, basically the same. In the big games, he tends to come up big and he tends to score. Right? He may miss 5-4 chances, but he tends to score. And I think, like, you can't question the numbers. You can't question the numbers. 50 at almost 60 games, 20 goals. So he's averaging almost a goal every 3 games, and we need strikers like that starting for the Jamaican national team, because right now, based on the ratios, we don't have anybody with a better record than Shamar Nicholson. We don't have none of the strikers that we have at our availability. Maybe Warner Brown, but none of the others have a better record than Shamar Nicholson. Uh, Demari Gray, one of the most dangerous players, he was not available on the night, and we know he was one of those who hit the ground running, and the stats are there to back up his performances. When he's not scoring, he's getting assists in. So Demari Gray hit the ground running of the foreign players that we've brought in, and he basically, of all the players that we've brought in, overseas based players in the last maybe 5-6 years, he's been one of some people will say statement signings, but he's not a signing. He's been one of the more successful ones based on the statistics. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Just giving a quick reaction, just giving, sharing my thoughts real quick. As you can see, we're still outside. So we're gonna leave it at that, and we're gonna turn it over to you, the viewers and subscribers, to share your thoughts. What's your assessment of Damian Lowe and Shamar Nicholson's performance last night? We wanted to do the player rating, but if you want to drop the ranking for the players, if you want to give them some ratings in the comment section, you can do that as well. But I'm gonna leave it there. Let's hear it. What are your takeaways from Shamar Nicholson and Damian Lowe? Do you think they're being wrongfully criticized, or unfairly criticized? I must say, because I don't believe. I think players should be critiqued based on their performance. But the problem arises when they're being unfairly criticized, and people are going even as far as saying they shouldn't be included. But let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Halftime TV saying, big up on yourself. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk soon. Peace.